Have you ever wanted to see what it feels like to make $6,000 in just 8 hours with an online business? I caught the whole thing on camera, so you're going to see what goes on behind the scenes for a full day of work to make this happen. Let's start at the beginning. Hey, good morning. So I've been awake for a couple of minutes so far, and one of the first things I like to do in the morning, aside from saying hello to my beautiful wife next to me, is to check my notifications on my phone to see what kind of sales I've made overnight while I've been asleep. Because the beauty of having an online business is that everything is automated, everything is passive, and you can be making sales whatever the time of day it is because everything runs on autopilot without you needing to actually be there. So let me go ahead and check my phone right now. You can see it is currently 10:03 a.m., which is a little later than most people wake up in the morning, and that's just based on personal preference because I have the choice to be able to do that, right? I don't need to wake up at 6 a.m. and rush to get ready for work because I don't need to, and I have the flexibility of going to bed later in the evening as well. So let me go ahead and show my notifications here for the first time. Let me prop you up on my nightstand here. Here we go. So let's have a look at my notifications, and we can see at the very top I have something from Chase while in Do Not Disturb. Let's have a look. A $5,000 deposit. How awesome, right? So before I've even started my day, I have made $5,000. Worst case scenario today, I end the day making 5K, which is an awesome position to be in. I don't even need to work today to be able to make that kind of money, right? And then, of course, we have the whole thing about helping people. The whole reason we do this is to help people change their lives for the better. It's not just about extracting money from people, right? It's about helping people to change their lives, right? And then I also like to keep my older notifications listed here from Stripe as well. You can see if I just make that a little bit bigger there, we can see Stripe, 30K in one day. Hopefully you can see that with the autofocus, things like that, but I'll try and make it clearer for you. But 30K in one day and lots of other 10K payments as well coming in. So that's an incredible position to be in, waking up to sales and not really having to work that much to be able to make those sales. Now for one of the favorite parts of my day, saying hello to Oscar and Frido in the morning. These are not children, they are our fur babies. There we have Oscar. Let's say hello to Frido as well. We have a baby gate just so we have our privacy upstairs because they're a little bit of a trouble. So there is Frido as well. Oh, bless him. So now it's time to have a bit of breakfast and then take him on a walk. A bit of a cloudy day today, so gonna have to enjoy that and then have some breakfast. This is the kind of excitement we have in the morning, him wanting his breakfast. Oh, miss you too. And guess what? While my oatmeal is in the microwave, I received another deposit of roughly $500. Now, I'm not saying this to brag, of course. I'm just showing you what's possible, and so you can imagine what this would be like when you have your own profitable online business. Another amazing thing about working for yourself is having your own flexible schedule, which is why right now, before even starting work, I'm here walking Oscar at our local park. And to me, that just sets my mind right for the entire day, gets me in the right frame of mind to just focus 100% on work from then on. So now I've walked Oscar, it's time to start work in my home office, which is literally just a bedroom in my house, which I've converted into my office, which you may have seen before in my other videos, but here it is. So I'm going to give you a little tour and then show you what I'm going to start work with, which is very important as usual. So you can see there we've got some nice little reminders on both of those shelves. We've got my setup with the microphone there whenever I want to record an impromptu video, and then we have my laptop on my L-shaped desk. So when I sit down and officially start my working day, the process may be very different to what you may be used to in a 9-to-5 job. So for example, in a 9-to-5, your boss or team lead may give you a project to work on or a bunch of tasks which need to get done by the end of the day, end of the week, and so on. But as a solopreneur and as a business owner, especially an online business owner, you have full say in what you're doing. You have the choice, right? So you need to prioritize the things which are going to move the needle forwards in your business. What is going to make you the most profit? What is going to help the most people? And what is going to make the most progress growing your business, right? So right now I'm looking at my to-do list and I have a bunch of different columns, as you can see. One of them is a total to-do list, which is every item or task I should probably get done at some point. So not very important, not very urgent. Then in the middle, we have a couple of columns based on priority. So one of them is priority to do, and this is just things which are kind of important but not really that urgent. And then we have non-negotiables in 2024, which is the big goals I want to focus on, my New Year's resolutions, if you will. And then we have goals for this week. Now, previously I used to have goals for today, but I found that things wouldn't get done because things would take longer than I thought and it would stress me out. So now I have goals for this week, and I can add the most urgent and important items into this list, and that's what I focus on first. But aside from this, these are the things which are going to move the needle, but then there's also the micro tasks which are going to make a massive difference. And these are often prospects who are on the edge of purchasing, but they haven't yet purchased. Maybe they're waiting on me to respond to a question or some clarification on something. So typically I will go through those first, and those will often be quick sales. And that's why I focus on those first, then I start work on my to-do list. So very firstly, I will go through my inbox and respond to all of those people which are low-hanging fruit to be able to make those sales and obviously enroll them as a customer and to be able to help them and coach them. But then I'll start work on my to-do list. So good news, I just did that and I answered a few things, but mainly two things. We have one person asking for the difference between our coaching program and our 5-figure Ultimate Done For You service before they purchase one or the other. And we have an enrollment conversation for the same Ultimate Done For You service, the 5-figure investment, later today. So I'll bring you along with us for that and see how that goes as well. But now it's about responding to our clients and making sure that all of them are taken care of. They have all of their questions answered. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now on Slack, which you can see right there. If we zoom in a little bit there, I have blurred the names of our clients just to respect their privacy and their security of their websites, things like that. But now I'm just going to go down the list of unread conversations, respond to everybody as fast as possible with as much detail as possible, and then it's time to move on to the next stuff. So after responding to all of our clients and getting that urgent stuff out of the way, as you can see, I have freshened up, I've changed clothes, things like that, because I have an enrollment call in probably around 10 minutes from now. Now, it's lunchtime, I'm eating a nice mixture of chicken, broccoli, and rice. Super clean eating because I am trying to lose a few pounds in preparation for a vacation coming up. I know I'm not overweight, things like that. I just want to look super ripped when I'm on the beach, things like that. Just a personal preference, right? So as I'm preparing for this enrollment call coming up, I'm thinking, what can I do to help this person specific to their business? I'm looking through the application on my phone, looking through the things they've said, and I'm also trying to anticipate any objections or limiting beliefs they may have to enrolling and us being able to help them as well. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and I'll see you in the office. So this is what it looks like when somebody applies to work with you, schedules a time in your calendar that works best for them, and doesn't show up and doesn't tell you why. Fortunately, in this case, they have responded to my text messages asking where they are. They said they were in the car and they were busy. Something came up at the very last minute, like a family emergency type thing, which honestly is totally acceptable. That to me is okay. The issue is when people don't show up and don't tell you why. They have a deep lack of respect for your time, which is never good as an entrepreneur because, of course, I've had to schedule this call into my day and structure my tasks around this call as well. I could have been doing other things instead of sitting here waiting for somebody for 20 minutes so far, right? Fortunately, as I mentioned, they have been responding back and forth with me over text message saying, sorry, that's totally okay. So they've just rescheduled the call to later in the day, and that is totally okay with me. So now I'm going to be working on my to-do list tasks, which are those tasks I mentioned earlier on in this video about the things which are going to move the needle forward in the business, things which are going to accelerate the growth of the business and make the most money long term while making the biggest impact. So let's get to work. So while I've been waiting on that enrollment call, which is in roughly 1 hour from now, I have been working on my to-do list items. Now, these will vary from day to day depending on what I've got going on during the week, but they will be usually a mix of either doing the work for our clients as a part of our Ultimate Done For You service, where we build a profitable business from scratch for them, or it could be messaging members of my team, making sure that they are on track with everything they're doing, or it could be stuff for my own business, things like writing emails for my newsletter, or recording content like this, or editing content like this, for example, right? So it does vary depending on what day of the week it is, what I've got going on, but here is an example of what I'm doing right now. If I just flip the camera around here, we can see I'm currently reviewing some emails, some email automations for one of our clients. So if we zoom in here, it should show us the actual flow of this. You can see starts off when a prospect opts in, if we zoom in there, and then we go to a decision tree based on whether they are actually a customer or not, and then we go through to pitching the offer, the paid solution for the client, and then we go through to some follow-up on that, and then we have some goals at the very end, and finally we put them onto the main newsletter list. We also have some automations I'm working on as well, which is taking people who enroll into this client's program into their email list to become a customer so they can actually receive this big sequence, the other automation sequence, which is right waiting for this to load. There we go, right there. So this is the customer automation we're working on as well. So those are just a few examples of the type of things we do on a daily basis. Now I'm just going to continue working on this stuff while we wait for this enrollment call. Fingers crossed. I've just had a little bit of a break talking with my wife for a little bit after her lunch, and now it's time for that enrollment call. Fingers crossed. You're not going to believe this. So this is what it looks like when you have somebody schedule a call with you personally for a high ticket premium service at a time that works best for them, but they don't show up. But then they give you a different time, which is more convenient for them, and they don't show up to that either, which is kind of annoying because I have been, waiting here for roughly an hour and a half now, so roughly 90 minutes or so. And during that time, I have been able to work on other things, which is great, but my mind has not been able to focus fully on that task because I've been waiting around for this person, even though I've, sent them an email, tried calling them, leave a voicemail, yada, 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 the usual sales stuff. Now, I should mention, this is not always the case. Around 10% of the time this does happen, and quite frankly it's very annoying that it's happened today when I'm recording my day, because I really wanted to show you on camera, hey, this is the client saying yes and enrolling on camera, and that would have been incredible. But that is not how business is. Business does not always go the way that you want it to go. And even without this call closing into a client, then it's still a great day because I've still made over $5,000, as you saw early on in this video. Plus, during this time, I've also been making a bunch of sales on my phone as well. They've been coming in from my advertising and other things as well, which is incredible in itself. So basically, I've made money even though this person didn't show up, which is awesome. Now, during this time, I have also been working on some PowerPoint slides for a brand new coaching program coming your way earlier next year. So that has been a productive time in itself. Now I've got roughly another 1 hour 30 until I go to the gym and finish my working day. So I'm going to work hard on the rest of my to-do list, continue working on my PowerPoint slides, and we'll see you a bit later. So after finishing work, I always go to the gym at least 3 times per week, usually on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with the intention of building as much muscle as I possibly can and look as good as I possibly can, instead of looking how I used to look, like this. That is what I've been trying to get away from and trying to look a lot more muscly, okay? So now I'm gonna go ahead to the gym. Come with me. You know what? Let's see which car we're gonna take today. So this is my garage, bit of a Tite Lopez moment here, right? So if we come here into the garage, you'll see we have a choice. Do we take the Range Rover Velar, or do we take that nice little number in the corner? Let's have a look. Now again, I'm not showing you this to brag, it's just literally my lifestyle, so I'm trying to share as much as I possibly can. Hopefully it's inspirational to you as well, right? But that is my Corvette 3LT, which I'm sure you'll like if you're a Corvette fan or you're into cars. Let's go ahead and open her up. Here we are inside. So if you're into cars, if you're into nice luxury things, I want you to imagine what it would feel like to be sitting in this seat right now. And this to be your car, or if you don't like Corvettes, that's fine. Whatever car you would love to be in. Just imagine yourself in that position. And guess what? Your online business is the way to get here. So now I'm going to go off to the gym and we'll catch up when I get back. Well, hey, so I have finished at the gym. I have cooked my 4th meal of the day, which you can see over here. You can see we have some beautiful turkey and broccoli and rice. We have Oscar waiting for a piece of turkey, and we have Frida waiting for a piece as well. And one of my favorite mugs over here, the best husband and also best cat and dog dad. So let me prop you down here. Perfect. So there's one thing I want to make very, very clear. On the evening, that is my time. After I finish work, I do not work anymore. I do not receive emails on my phone. I do not receive push notifications from Slack, from my clients, my team, nothing. And that is intentional, because when that happens, you never really switch off and you can never relax. This is something I've noticed since moving to America and now having lots of American friends. They can never truly switch off from their work because their boss, their team leader, their project manager, whatever it may be, is messaging them, emailing them, calling them after they finished work and expecting them to respond without being paid for it. And to me, that is just crazy. Growing up in the UK, there is a very hard divide between work time and personal time, and you would never even think of doing that. You would never even think of messaging your employees or team after hours and expecting a response when not getting paid for it, right? Crazy. So that is something that I've incorporated into my life and my business, that I don't want to be thinking about work when I've finished, I've got back from the gym. Even at the gym, I'm not thinking about work, and by the time the next day comes around, I'm fully recovered and fully focused on the day ahead. Such as now, for example, I'm going to eat this beautiful food here in front of me and watch some nice TV, some happy TV, maybe Bob's Burgers, or What We Do in the Shadows, something like that, something funny to make me laugh, feel good, instead of something dramatic which makes me feel a bit like anxious or stressed or something like that without even realizing it. And then obviously before going to sleep, I'll be spending a couple of hours with my wife Michelle, usually 2 or 3 hours, and we go to sleep at around midnight, hence why I wake up a lot later in the morning than most people, because I go to bed a lot later than most people. And that evens out. If you think about how many hours I've been working today, looking through this video, I've also worked roughly 8 hours. And to me, honestly, that is a long day, because typically I work between 4 and 6 hours because my team takes care of most of the stuff, and then I'm just there to maintain things and make sure everything's growing nicely as a manager role, if you will. So I hope you've enjoyed following along with me today in this video, seeing a behind the scenes look at what it's really like to be making money online full time and running a profitable and successful online business by selling digital products and online courses. If you have enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that like button below this video, and don't forget to leave a comment with any thoughts that you may have about it, and of course any questions you may have about my day as well, and what kind of things you can expect for yourself. And don't forget, if you want to know exactly how to get to this point yourself, hit that subscribe button to make sure you receive more videos like this in the future. And of course, you can always check out our website, linked to in the description below. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Bye-bye.